Hi, my name is David Sherwood. I've been asked to talk to you today about some of the things you need to do or decide before starting your business. And I'll tell you that the first thing you have to do is you have to just decide. See, one of the biggest problems that we have as accountants in starting our business is that we think this puppy to death. Now, here's the problem. I actually like to look at it like Stephen Covey says. The first thing you have to do is you have to start with the end in mind. And the way I typically will put it to people that I coach is that stop pretending. You have to make a decision. Because the problem with not deciding is that what we do is we sit here and we think we want to start a business, and then we don't act on it. And then we start feeling bad about it. Then the next time we think about it, we don't act. And we start reinforcing that behavior, and pretty soon we stop believing in ourselves. So let me just tell you right now, stop pretending. Decide to move forward, or find out what you want to do to move forward. The second thing we have to do is we have to plan it. Now, I don't have time today or right now to actually make a business plan. So let's just talk about the potential. There are some exciting things we can talk about. Let's just talk about what the average client pays us. Nationally, our students tell us that on average, their customers will pay about $400 a month to do the bookkeeping and accounting. Now, if you do the math, 400 times 12, that's about $4,800. You'll do back work, you'll do setup fees. It's about $5,000 per year. So what I want you to do is to think about how much you would like to make in the next 12 months. So think of that number. If the number is $50,000, divide by 5,000. That tells you that you're going to need about 10 clients. Now, each client is about 6 to 8 hours of work per month. So 10 clients isn't just $50,000. It's only about 3 to 4 hours of work a day. Okay? Next, you have to sit there and actually decide what the plan is. Now, we're accountants. We can make a forecast. We can plan it. The problem is most people I talk to have never done that. They'll do it for customers, but not for themselves. Decide what your business is going to look like, and then actually plan it. But on the marketing side, just understand $50,000 is only about 10 clients. 20 clients is full-time work, but that's about $100,000. That should excite some of you. Now, I'll tell you that Stephen Covey is right. We have to start with the end in mind. You have to decide what you want to do. Then you have to plan it. There's a lot of different ways to market, many different marketing methods. You want to track it, find out which ones are successful and which ones aren't. But I'll tell you, where we kill ourselves is the execution. See, here's an example. Here's what the typical accountant will do. They'll go talk to a customer, and that person will tell them no. And they'll say, this is hard, I can't do this. Okay? Then they talk to a second person, and that person says, no, I already have an accountant. My wife does it. This is hard, I can't do this. And they talk to a third person, and that person tells them no. And then they say, I don't know if I can do this, and maybe the spouse starts complaining, whatever it may be. Then they talk to a fourth person, and the fourth person tells them no. And they decide, that's it, I quit. So here's the deal. What is your closing rate? See, most people don't know what their closing rate is. But if you were that person that had talked to 4 people in a row, and all 4 of them told you no, and you quit at 4, what just happened? See, if your closing rate's 10%, you have to talk to 10 people before you get your first client. And here's how I'd like to put it. If you wanted to get $100,000 in this business, you're going to have to talk to 200 people if your closing rate is 10%. So my question to you is, would you be willing to let 180 people tell you no to make $100,000? Now, obviously, not everybody's closing rate is going to be 10%. Okay? Not everyone's, some are going to be much, much better. Yours probably will be too. The problem is that typically we talk to a few people and we quit thinking that this is so hard. And my question to you is, what are you going to do with that? See, what I've learned is that if my closing rate is about 25%, I've got to talk to 4 people to have someone say yes. So when I talk to someone, I'm okay if they say no because I don't get depressed. I don't feel bad about it. I say, so what? Who cares? Who's next? And when I talk to the second person, so what? Who cares? Who's next? And when I finally get to the 4th person, see, I'm okay with no's because I know eventually someone's going to say yes. In starting your business, make a decision. Stop pretending. Decide what your plan is. What do you want it to look like? And plan out the whole thing. And then when you start executing, follow through. If you're unwilling to follow through, you're guaranteed to fail. Just want you to remember, this is David Sherwood with Universal Accounting. Remember, if it's about accounting, it's universal.